we are in an era, not like this month or even this year, but we're in an era of rising anti-Semitism. I think there's a consensus on that around the world, and it's clear that many of these European Jewish communities under tremendous pressure they haven't been under since World War II. Often these communities are small. They're much smaller, obviously, than they were before World War II. And they are increasingly under stress just for the security, just the financial obligations of security. The security situation in some cases is bad enough that, there's a question that's brought up here at this conference: will Jews live in Europe? Can Jews live in Europe? Because we are starting to see some people, some of the population in some of these countries thinking a lot, and actually in some cases moving abroad. We just saw a movie in here about a year ago where a Jewish teacher, rabbi, along with two of his children and another child, the child of the principal of a Jewish school, were gunned down on the streets. We see Golden Dawn, a neo-Nazi type party in Greece. They have parliamentarians. They have a parliamentarian who gets up and talks about the protocols of the elders of Zion. One would have thought that would have been in the dustbin of history long ago. We have a member of the party called Yobik in Hungary, gets up in the parliament in Hungary and talks about putting a list together of Hungarian Jews as security risks. And we have both of these two parties with self-proclaimed anti-Semitic goals, and they also have and I know in Golden Dawn's case, they have black shirts. They have an arm of folks that frankly will create violence in the street. I understand Yobik has a similar situation. You have other parties in Europe arising like this. We hear stories here of people not being able to go to a synagogue or use the Jewish community center, cannot wear anything identifiably Jewish, a kippah, a beard, Magen David around a chain. These can cause you not only just verbal assaults, but much in Europe you have to worry about physical assaults. Now, this is intolerable. So I think in that sense, one would be hard-pressed not to argue that this is not a critical time. I think in the United States, one of the things we really feel strongly about, I think we've done pretty well, is to combat hate speech, combat ideas of intolerance and certainly anti-Semitism with more speech. So in a place like in the United States, when someone says something that is anti-Semitic or intolerant or discriminatory, they're allowed to say it, but it is very hard to say it because you're going to get a lot of people criticizing you. It is not a comfortable thing. Polite society, you don't say these things. And this is something that apparently in much of the rest of the world doesn't happen. If you have objectionable things going on, speech, desecration, violence, it's really important for people to speak out. Civil society, individual, frankly, it's great that governments would do so as well.